Sawadee, sabaydi. How are all of thee? Sawadee. People often ask, what is it that I do every day? Well, this is just one of the things I do. I come down here. There is like a little pond, quite a big pond. Some exercise machines which are in rack and ruin. You can see that they're all falling apart. I think it's because they've made a new park about 1 kilometre from here, a massive park near alongside the river, and it's beautiful. So I think this is kind of just dropped off because obviously everyone's going there now, and rightly so. But anyway, I don't come down here to exercise. I come down here to see the doggies. She's super friendly, and so is she. And we've got a bunch of puppies today. Well, I say today, there's clearly they can't. I've been down here every day, well, apart from when it's been raining, for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Well, I've been coming on and off since I've been here, but only like occasionally. But recently, and I've never seen puppies down here before. And when I first arrived and I saw them, I was all excited, thinking they'd just been born overnight. But they're up and walking, some of them. So clearly they're not newborns because they'd be basically on their bellies, won't be walking around just yet. So they've got to be at least like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days old. But I've not seen them before, so I'm assuming maybe mother, because there's another white dog. I'm assuming maybe mother and pups have been dropped off. This is the thing, people don't get their dogs neutered in Thailand, or very rarely. So there's lots and lots and lots and lots. I'd say probably 80-90% of the pregnancies, canine pregnancies, dog pregnancies, are probably unwanted. Just because they don't care. They simply just don't care. It's a waste of money. People see it as a waste of money. I'm assuming. Yeah, which is a real shame because it kind of really spoils Thailand a little bit. All these roaming dogs, a lot of Westerners are animal lovers, so seeing aggressive, uncared for dogs really hurts the heart for a Westerner. And it's so easily avoidable by just having the dogs neutered, at a young age when it doesn't cost so much, Get them neutered so they can't have pups. The population will drop right down, and then the dogs that you have got, you can take care of. The trouble is, unfortunately, here in Thailand, there's too many dogs. This area alone, I've seen an increase in the last couple of months of more dogs turning up. In Ubon, Ratchadani, which is an hour's drive from here, there's parts of the countryside, there's signs up saying, be aware, packs of dogs in the area. So in other words, don't be walking or cycling. Some of the dogs will attack cars and motorbikes. Not many. That's a rarity, but certainly don't be walking or cycling through the area, is what they're saying. Especially at night time when they're more active, because it's not so hot. During the daytime when they're hiding in the shade, it's not so bad. Which is why these dogs hang out here, because obviously there's lots of shade and there's water. Even though I did actually, there's a pond there. You think dogs will just drink out of the pond? I'm sure they probably do, because no one puts water down for dogs. You don't see water bowls in the UK. The UK is not even a tropical country. People just put dog bowls outside shops, outside, just outside in the streets, for people to let their dogs have a drink. When the dog owners in the UK, and I'm sure probably in America and Australia too, even when you get if you take your dog out for you go on a trip somewhere and you're going to take your dog with you, you'll take a bowl and some water with you. That seems to be a weird concept here in Thailand, having a dog water bowl. But anyway, like I say, I brought one down here the other day. Left it with a bottle of water, so like try and make it clear that I wasn't just littering or just leaving a bowl here. Um, Came back the next morning, the water bottle and the bowl had gone. So I'm assuming people must have just either took it home, or someone thought I was littering. But if they thought I was littering, I mean, let's face it, yeah, there's plenty of more litter that they could have picked up. So I'm assuming someone must have picked it up and took it home, which is really annoying because it wasn't even, I hadn't left it here for not even 24 hours. So I think what I'm going to have to do is bring another bowl down and just give the dogs some water as and when they, as and when I come down, and then take it back with me, because clearly you can't leave anything lying around like that. In England, you'd be able to do that. No one would bother with it. It's a dog bowl. What's a human need a dog bowl for? So you could put a water, a bowl down full of water in England, and you'd be there for years. No one would bother with it. Clearly here in Thailand, that bowl has a value, so it's gone, or it's got use, for someone else to maybe take it home and use for their dogs. I don't know. Why would you take it? It's clearly been put down on the floor for animals, but yet I see that they come. Local people are seeing all the pups now and stopping to. I won't get too close. They can get a bit growly if you get too close. See what I mean? They're very protective. So they've literally turned up today. These pups, these 7 pups. And that's a real shame, because what sort of life are those pups going to have? The mum has probably barely got milk to give them, so they're going to be super hungry, and potentially could turn aggressive as they get older, because I don't know. I'm not a dog psychologist, but you wouldn't want to be reincarnated as a dog and come live in Thailand. Put it that way. Come back in your second life, reincarnated as a dog in England or America or somewhere. I think you have a very good chance of having a very nice life. Not saying that everyone's nice to dogs. Obviously, clearly, I've seen dog owners being very horrible to their dogs. So it doesn't matter if you've got a dog or not. Yeah. There's lots of charities that look, like dog sanctuaries, people going out feeding, like I am, feeding the homeless dogs. Let's call them homeless, yeah, not street dogs. Let's call them homeless. Because every dog's a street dog to some extent, isn't it? Um, growling going on over there. Every dog's a street dog to some extent, because the pack animals are sociable, so they can be out on the street and roaming in that sense. They're sociable animals. They're pack animals, aren't they? Although listening to the growling going on over there at the moment, you'd think twice of saying that. But they homeless, I think, is probably a better term. But my point I was going to make is, there's charities making, or maybe not making money, but they're having donations, to support them, which is a good thing, clearly. But wouldn't it be better to, like, instead of having these dog sanctuaries and hundreds of people, or thousands, and probably tens of thousands of people, because what I've seen it lots and lots of times when I've been down here. There'll be someone turn up in a motorbike. They got some leftover food from last night or whenever, and they'll bring it down. So the dogs are getting fed. It is scraps. It is mainly rice and stuff like that, which is obviously good. But wouldn't it be better if they set up some sort of campaign, some sort of society, some sort of program to offer, dogs of a breedable age, offer them neuting, because I think that, I know obviously it's a surgery and a vet's got to do and things like that, but I'm thinking it's probably a relatively easy surgery. Um, so perhaps you could, technically you could probably get away with not having a qualified, certified vet do it. You could literally have a program where, I don't know, say, however many how many veterinary places, veterinary nurse hospitals, veterinary centres. Say there's, just for example, say 1,000 across the whole of Thailand, and each of them's probably got assistants and nurses and things like that. Offer a program where each of those, say, assistants can go off and spend a week somewhere learning how to do the Newton operation, and I could just be churning them out like, I don't know, 5, 6 a day, 7, 8, 9, 10 a day, and obviously have it reimbursed back through some sort of government agency, environment, because obviously it's part of the environment. Maybe tourism, because obviously it does upset tourists, and obviously just health, and welfare for animals. There's lots of, in the UK. There's animal rights, this, that, and the other, and welfare, this, that, and the other, and I'm sure that there's equivalent sorts of things in Thailand, animal welfare and husbandry and all that kind of stuff. It happens every country across the world has those sorts of things. So it wouldn't. And Thailand is so technically advanced, has all the mod cons, in the hospitals and such like. They got to have all the equipment that all Western hospitals have. In fact, I've seen some equipment in some hospitals I've never seen in the UK. A friend of mine, bless his heart, passed away earlier in the year, and I was with him in the hospital, and they had this robot CPR machine, resuscitating him. And it wasn't the electric pad jobby, the defibrillator. It wasn't that. It was an actual machine that lay across him like a bridged him, bridged his chest, and obviously he was on the side of the bed. And this thing was manually pumping up and down, pushing down. It was doing the CPR, but the machine was pushing on his chest. It wasn't a defibrillator like zapping. I don't work on the wards in the hospitals in the UK myself, so I don't know what equipment they have. I've never been around critical units where people are passing away before, so maybe the UK has them as well. I don't know, but anyway, point being, Thailand has the money and has the equipment to take care of this problem. I love dogs, so for a dog lover, this is why I come down here. Although there are dogs that come and visit me at my home,